planes.
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore.
Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. To my right, Shaney.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Hello.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Stalin. I remember there was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Only one.
Okay. I remember one singular moment, too.
I hope it's the same one.
That'd be crazy.
Is it about Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, his hair. How luscious
How
and blonde it
fucking
is.
beautiful Dog the Bounty Hunter's hair was for no reason.
Yeah.
Dude was a bounty hunter. Why do you have to have such a long, nice hair? What a shit profession to have that.
What was he? What do you think he was before he was a bounty hunter?
Maybe a bouncer?
Professional model.
Yeah, hair model.
Fabio's brother?
I'm just saying, the man had really good hair.
Have we ever seen Fabio and Dog in the same place?
Why was his name Dog again?
That's why. that's probably the reason, because he got that dog in him, you know?
Yeah.
He loved Costco hot dogs so much. They named him
yeah.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
That's the lore now. 216-859-8699 if you love Costco hot dogs, or want to text into the show while we're on air today, of course, live every Monday at 5 p.m. But we're not talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter. We're talking about Bear the Cop.
Ew.
What's going on here? What's up with this bear suit, man?
I think it's Cop the Bear.
I'd rather not cop the bear, but
Well, there was a cop who supposedly went undercover, right?
Yeah. He completely went undercover.
He dressed in a full head-to-toe bear costume and, like, had a heart balloon and, like, chocolates and Valentine's.
heart balloon, not a harpoon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, Valentine's Day garb. That's what he had.
It looks like, from what I'm understanding of this video, he made a full presentation of, like, he got down on one knee and, like, presented the chocolates. At least that's what he could be holding a gun also. It
looks
could
like
alternatively
It
be
does
a gun.
also kind of looks like a gun.
Could be holding a box of chocolates and, like, because he's definitely holding a balloon and he's on one knee in front of the house.
Yeah. So there's a cop dressed as a bear with Valentine's Day stuff trying to get a drug dealer.
Yes, there's a lady drug dealer, I guess, in this
In
house.
Peru. This is in Peru. This is not terrestrial.
The
Yes.
land of the puff pepper.
Dude, that's in South America. You better watch out.
But I'm not sure, like, what the entire situation is. I saw the video and then brought it in. So, basically, from what I saw from the video, he lured this lady drug dealer out with promises
awesome.
of chocolate and Valentine's Day garb.
Yeah.
Unknowingly to her, the bear that was giving her the chocolates and the love was a cop, and he arrested her on spot.
I hate when my Valentine turns out to be a cop. That's always
It's the worst.
That's always the worst turn of a heel turn.
Especially once you're already handcuffed to the bed.
Surprise!
Then you find out it's a cop.
Surprise! You're arrested. No,
It's a lot less kinky than I was
no,
planning
I'm
to get.
horny.
To be horny and arrested, that's the worst combo. At least you're still in your home at that point, and not horny and arrested in the jail, because that's when it really takes a turn for the worst.
I don't know. I feel bad for this lady who got lured out of her house. Like, she was like, "Oh, yay! There's a giant bear person here to give me chocolate and flowers on Valentine's Day. This is so sweet." Oh no,
It's the buzz.
it's the opposite situation. I'm now arrested.
I wonder if, like, she has a significant other that, like, helped the cops.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because either
Okay.
she is a very gullible drug dealer, which is a combination you don't want,
Yeah. Yeah.
or, like you said, someone had a plan. Like, she definitely had a love interest who she thought was going to go to this length, which is a
seems-
weird length to go for Valentine's Day.
I mean, it seems like that's the situation. Is she was like under the guise of like, "Oh, this is my hubby."
Or this is, like, a gift from my
Yeah,
significant
right,
other. Like,
right.
they arranged this.
It says here on Fox, details of the specific charges were not immediately available. So, like, it seems like we don't know much about what was actually going on with the situation other than the video that
And
I like
it. Did say that they found like heroin and like other opioids.
Yeah.
Well, she's a drug dealer, so you know.
So,
There's probably going to be drugs.
She's
at
dealing
least the
some
bust
drugs.
was worth it, and it wasn't like raiding.
That's a hell of a chance to take if it's not. If
Yeah.
you get the wrong person and you
Yeah.
show up as a bear, that's a fun conversation to have at the station.
Yeah. Why did a bear just try to arrest me? What the fuck?
You guys are not going to believe the day I had.
I
You're
didn't do
not going to believe
anything
why I didn't make
wrong.
it to work yesterday. Well, we talked about the story of there's an apartment. They got the wrong apartment number. Some lady called the cops for a burglar.
She was naked.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
broke into the wrong apartment and arrested
Yeah.
some naked lady.
Yeah, she was like a social justice worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
think
was
she was
crazy.
just a social worker. I don't know about social justice. I
Well,
don't know
she
if
did
that's
some kind of work with people in underprivileged
underpublished people.
Yeah,
She wrote books
underpublished
for him.
underpublished authors.
Yeah.
She wrote books for them.
real trooper.
Yeah,
Got
no.
real on to the deal there. But no, imagine that's the situation that played out. Also, imagine walking by and seeing this.
Dude, I think American cops need to take note. Start dressing up to catch your victims more.
Well,
catch them by surprise.
That's my first question: is this immoral / illegal?
No
I
way.
don't think so.
No
Listen,
way.
I'm the wrong person to ask when it comes to arresting criminals and drug dealers and diddlers and things of that nature. I don't typically show a lot of remorse in that area, regardless. I'm very pro this. I think this is a great way to lure people out.
Yeah,
Put on some kind of public display.
I'm curious about your first question. Like, do cops have to present themselves
Right.
Oh.
when they're making an arrest or anything
Oh,
like
well,
that?
like at the arrest, yes.
Like, do they have to show a badge or do anything? Or
So-
if
They have to say why they're being arrested, I believe, but I'm sure you could do that, while you're arresting.
right,
I'm sure that happened here.
right. I'm just saying, like, can Is
that what you're asking?
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. This is very.
Because like they set up the fake drug deals all the time,
Right, yeah.
and that's deceiving, but it's not. And like as soon as the drug dealer, whatever happens that they need the info for,
Right.
they are like, "Hey, NYPD, you're under arrest. Here's your Miranda rights."
But I guess my question more so is, like, in a situation like this, say it's just a lady who they know is the bad guy or the bad person, whatever, and they're like making a bust on their house.
Sure.
Do they have to like say police on them?
There's probably, if it's like a bigger bust, there's probably like people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's probably like
Backup.
regular like uniformed officers who are like backup or something like that.
Yeah.
Riot shield, like in the video here, there's like a riot shield that says police on it. But like, I'm saying if you had
Which-
none of that, if
what
there was
what
no
polar opposites to show up with? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
You got one guy in a bear costume and the other in a riot gear. Those are
Dude.
polar opposites of handling the situation.
Bears got backup.
Bears got backup. That's why you never walk into the woods alone. You never know when a
Yeah.
riot shield might pop out when them bears are around,
Yeah.
Go Bears.
But yeah, like, do police officers have to be wearing full, like, do they have to have anything that signifies, or
think
can they
so.
just pull up in like business casual attire and like,
'Cause, like,
Well,
there's
undercover cops are a
detectives,
thing, yeah.
yeah, undercover cops are a thing,
And
but
I think they can just pull up to the function.
But I think like they have to show a badge or
If
something.
they're
Like they like flash a badge before they put someone in handcuffs. You know what I mean?
I think they just have to identify themselves as a cop when arresting someone.
That's
but like
yeah, that's
when
probably
they're
true.
on the scene, they can do whatever the fuck they want,
Right.
until like the illegal shit happens.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. If a bear shows up and handcuffs me and tackles me to the ground, I'm gonna assume it's a cop. I'm not gonna assume it's a bear anymore. No longer do I think this is my Valentine.
Well, yeah, that's another interesting thing. Is like the cop in the bear costume never took off the fucking head.
good for him.
Yeah,
It was
did.
just in the.
I thought I saw that when he had.
I think it's after that she was arrested, he took off the head and then put it back on as they were walking out. Like,
That's-
this dude was
that's
committed to the
bold.
bit, yeah.
That's bold of him then.
Good for him.
He
Yeah.
wanted his rentals worth.
But
for
yeah.
the costume.
It's also a lady bear costume, which I think is an interesting choice.
I mean, you know, it's pretty.
Maybe she's a lesbian drug dealer. We don't
It's
know.
a pretty bear.
It's
just
2024. They got those now.
I think. Listen, you order a bear costume. It doesn't matter what the gender is. I'm just.
I get it. You know more about ordering bear costumes than I do. I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, part of my community.
Yeah, I know. Not in Oklahoma, but I know. You've ordered your fair share of bear costumes over the years. I think it's a good strategy. I think a better strategy, and again, I don't know how feasible and legal it is. I would like some clarification if you are in law enforcement or know someone in law enforcement or have the knowledge of this. 216-859-8699 is the number to text in. It's the hotline. You can do it now or in podcast form. Comes out every Wednesday at 10 a.m. I think a better way to do this in America is do a giveaway. Link up with a local radio station, maybe this one, and be like, hey, you won 2 tickets to go see Guns N' Roses at the Q. Come collect them. And you call the drug dealer. You say, hey, come collect your tickets. And they come to the station. It's a bust.
I feel like I've heard
We're not taking you down to the Paradise City. We're taking you downtown. It's good.
You're going to the Slammer.
Yeah.
Are you listening to this? No. I don't want to. I'm not the feds.
We're not a fed.
I'm not a fed.
Not fucking narc.
Yeah.
216-859-8699 if you want to win some concert tickets.
Good for the Peruvian
Puff Pepper.
The Peruvian police.
You were going to say Peruvian Puff Pepper.
The Peruvian puff-pepping police officers for thinking outside the box here.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be some kind of law against this or we'd see it more often, right?
Okay, so...
Probably. There's probably something in America where it says like they have to be
You cannot dress as a bear.
You can't specifically, you can't dress as a bear and arrest someone.
We can't arrest on Valentine's Day dressed as a bear with chocolates and balloon.
Can't arrest anyone on Valentine's Day. Ever. Period.
It's the day of love, man.
Apparently he had like a sign that said something, candy and a balloon. But the
I want to know what the sign said.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom of this wait. Up.
Walk outside, see a bear that says free candy. I'm not approaching the bear. If there's a bear outside my house, the sign that says free candy, not approaching. In fact, probably getting a gun at that point.
Listen, on Valentine's Day, if a bear shows up outside of my house and is like, hey, Shane, hey, I'm here for you. I don't know how I would feel. I don't know how I would necessarily feel about that.
Handcuffs off the side of the bear outfit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a kinky-ass bear.
What's that bear doing having those handcuffs? Next year, that's a little bit suspicious. Oh, I'm arrested. What?
Hey, bear, is that a gun in your pocket? You're happy to see me. Oh, it's a gun. Okay.
It said in Spanish, "You are my reason to smile."
That's nice.
That's cute.
That's ominous.
It's super cute.
I wonder if she had to have somebody
I hope
on
she
her
didn't.
side that was working with the cops.
I really hope she didn't. I really hope she just thought she had a secret admirer and a bear showed up to her house.
Yeah, I feel like she was just like, oh, there's a bear here for me. I'm going to go hug it or something. Because that's the other thing. What do you do with this bear? What do you then do with the bear? Do you hug the bear? Do you take a picture with the bear?
It's not like someone sent you flowers at work where the guy shows up and drops them off and leaves. Yeah, there's a man in this suit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Do you hang out with? Do you have the bear for the rest of the day?
Ooh, that's the market I want to get into. Being able to rent out a bear for the rest of the day.
Rent a bear.
Rent a bear. Workshop.
At that point, you kind of just act like it's Mickey or Minnie Mouse at Disney.
Yeah, but then what does it do after this?
Listen, I've never been to Disney, so maybe you can shed some light.
Sure.
I don't believe you're ever on a one-on-one private situation at your home with Mickey Mouse.
No, but
well, listen, in general, I don't think I'm just speaking for people who have been to Disney when I say Mickey Mouse has never just shown up at my house. I think you can just ask the whole room that question.
No, we keep talking about Disney and they might, all right? Mickey Mouse might show up with a restraining order one day.
Mickey, don't show up at my house. Please, God, Mickey, stay where you are.
Oh, heard you're advertising with Steamboat Willie, are you?
Yeah.
I'll make the switch all right.
Steamboat's good. We're chilling with Steamboat. I fuck with him.
I fuck with Steamboat. I don't know about this Mickey guy.
Yeah, this other guy, this other
mouse.
This other mouse, I don't fuck with him. That's a rat to me.
Oh no.
You mean Mickey the rat?
Yeah.
I think it's a good ploy. Also, if we're going to go down that route, I think why not dress up as Mickey? Have Disney get involved.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Disney crossover? Disney collab with the local PD?
Well, that is a that is a big thing to have at birthday parties. Is like
police.
Well, no, people dressing up in like
Bluey or
like Mickey Mouse
a costume or something,
Spider-Man or Ninja Turtles or some shit. You know?
Oh man, have Spider-Man arresting people?
That would suck. Spider Cop.
Dude, listen, I wouldn't even be mad if I got arrested for dealing drugs and Spider-Man was the guy. There's not a lot of better people to get arrested by.
I guess.
216-859-8699. Let me know if you want to win some concert tickets.
The next time you're hanging out with your buds, why not reach down into your pants and whip it out for them? Let them take a good look at the Live 365 app streaming WSRR Radio 24/7, 365. Download in your app store today.
Your dad didn't leave for cigarettes. He's out in the car listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
I guess I should clarify, I didn't do it at the top. If you're listening live on Live 365, wherever you are, all over the world to WSRR Radio on this Monday at 5 p.m. We're not simulcast right now on Facebook. The Zuck finally shut us down.
Fuck you, Zuckerberg.
Don't know why. There wasn't a reason given. We just couldn't go live today. So we are simulcast right now on YouTube. You can go to the Styles Rebel Radio YouTube page, share the link with your friends, or you can also go to Styles Rebel Radio on Facebook and get the link there. But maybe we'll be on YouTube from now on.
We're coming for you, PewDiePie.
Or maybe is PewDiePie still around?
We're coming for you, Mr. Beast.
Oh, you better watch out, Rhett and Link.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, we're
Good
on
mythical Monday to you.
Yeah.
Fuck. Good with the pigeonhole, Good Mythical Hole. Didn't he have an episode like that? Anyway, we're on YouTube right now, simulcast. Maybe we'll be back on YouTube next week. I really don't know. We could be on Twitch. Who knows? Let us know what you want us on. 216-859-8699. Also reach out to the Zuck and see why the fuck we're not live. I'm about to steal this man's spaghetti. That's how mad I am. Shane's about to get real upset. Even in briefing the show today, the story came up, and you were livid at it.
I wasn't livid at it. I just think that it's a silly. I think that it is silly that we are talking about it. It doesn't seem worth anyone's time.
So let me break down the story real quick for you. Man went to the store. He bought some bleach and some paper towels, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Toilet paper, one of the two. He had two items. Gets in line, sees the guy ahead of him, did his grocery shopping. He's got a cart full. So the guy goes, hey, you mind if I cut in front in line? The guy ahead of him quickly says no, and that's the end of their interaction. Until the guy in front of him starts checking out, to which our protagonist in the story, antagonist I guess, decides to steal a box of pasta, spaghetti noodles, from the guy's cart. Guy ahead of him doesn't notice, continues, checks out, leaves, and the guy buys the pasta noodles out of spite. And he's the one that makes the story. He goes to Reddit to ask, am I the asshole for stealing this man's pasta noodles? And then makes a TikTok about it because he thinks he's in the right, because he didn't get to go ahead of this guy. He stole his noodles out of spite. And the reason in here is because I didn't want him to have them after that.
He was just petty.
It's very petty.
His name's right here. I'm not going to read it. I'm not saying his name. I'm not giving him that gratification.
It's fine, Shane. It's
Okay.
okay.
But he posted it on TikTok, and that in and of itself to me is like a cry for help. Like, hey, look at me, guys. I want social media attention. Look at me. I did something dickbaggy.
I wonder.
And now I'm going to post about it and complain about it. Oh, look at me, guys. And now Distractify, thanks Distractify.com.
Awesome content, Distractify.com.
is Allison is writing an article
Fuck
about
you,
it.
Allison.
Yeah, so.
I wonder why he decided to use that checkout lane. Like where he was. Was it a Walmart? Was there a self-checkout available? What the situation was that he felt the need to ask this man grocery shopping if he could cut in front of him because he was going to take too long.
So clearly he's the asshole.
Yes.
Like, he's not in the right in any means here.
Yeah, YTA.
The fact that he went to Reddit and asked, am I the asshole, is beyond wild to me. You said that you did it out of spite. Like, you literally just did this because you didn't get to go first. You are the asshole, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
However, my bigger issue with this is that he asked to cut in front. That's something that's offered. You don't ask to go in front. That pisses me off. That's my biggest issue. I can even get behind taking the noodles because that's kind of funny. It's kind of fun. Even if that wasn't the build up to it, if you're just like,
taking
hey,
the noodles. If someone
noodles.
If I'm grocery shopping and someone takes my noodles and I find out if I'm walking to my car and I'm like, oh, wait, if I don't know, if somehow the stars align and I find out through telepathy that this fucker behind me in line somehow stole my noodles, I'm mad. I'm gonna be like, don't take my noodles. Give me those back.
It's the perfect crime, though.
I'm stealing I'm committing theft and I'm stealing those noodles back from him.
But it's the perfect crime because you're not going to find... You're either going to go home and be like, damn, I forgot the bag that had my noodles in it. Or you're going to go, did I get noodles? And then what's going to happen? You're going to go back to the store and buy noodles if you really wanted them. Even if you went, damn, someone took my... You're not going to hunt this guy down.
Am I?
It's a good crime. It's a good crime.
Might fucking
It's a funny little joke.
Imagine.
The guy was standing in line and went, noodles, and took them.
Imagine you get a pan of water and put it on the stove, and you go to get your noodles, and they're not there. And then you get your list, and you're like, you see a little check next to your noodles.
No more noodles, because this guy's fucking stolen and posted on TikTok.
Don't start cooking before you take out all of your stuff.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Did we talk about on the show years ago, or maybe it was with you or with the Pidge or someone, but someone came up to... The argument was essentially, if you don't have hot dog buns, then use hamburger buns if you have them, was essentially the argument. My argument was, why are you making a hot dog if you didn't check to see if you had hot dog buns before you made the hot dog?
Because hot dogs aren't... Because having hot dogs is more important than having hot dog buns. If I'm hungry and I see that I have hot dogs, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I'll make those and eat those. If I open my bread drawer, and I see that I have hot dog buns, I'm not going to be like, oh, this inclines me to go buy hot dogs and make hot dogs.
No, but at the same time, if I have hot dogs in the fridge and I don't have buns, and I know that I don't have buns, I'm going to go, damn, I'm going to have to get buns before I make these hot dogs, or I'm just not going to eat them right now. I'll eat them later once I have buns.
If I'm hungry, I'll eat them with bread. I'll make some toast.
I mean, if I'm really hungry, I'll just eat the hot dog.
Yeah, right.
But I don't like the argument of, well, just use the hamburger bun. Just look before you make it.
Yeah, that's not as valid.
This guy, if he goes home, isn't going to have pasta. He better not sit there and boil water and crack open the sauce before he looks at the noodles.
I hope he goes to boil water and he burns his house down.
That's the guy who got the pasta stolen from him?
The
No.
guy who showed up first
The guy
to
who
this
stole the
checkout
pasta.
line.
The guy who stole the pasta.
I hope he just threw it away after too.
I just want to
Probably
know.
did.
I want to know why he believes so wholeheartedly that he deserved to go in front of that guy.
Because Americans are entitled. Americans are entitled little babies.
True.
Whatever happened to the 12 items or less line?
Yeah, what
He
the
should have
heck?
hopped in that bitch.
This guy.
Oh, yeah, so I stole the spaghetti.
He was in a hurry to
Like
clean.
me.
He was
I'm
in a...
conventionally attractive.
All right, dude. Sick TikTok, man.
Shane, are you attracted to the spaghetti bandit?
No, I'm just mad at it.
Shane, you're the only one that brought that up.
I'm just mad at this guy. Well, because that's the only reason he's getting likes. If this was some, like, middle-of-the-road dude from Podunk, Idaho doing this, people would be like, you're a dickbag, bro. Why are you stealing spaghetti?
I think they are. I don't think anyone's glorifying this guy.
Okay, there are girls being like,
Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, he's not that bad.
Listen, it's also not that bad. It's just spaghetti.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You glorifying this? You sexualizing this guy right now? You
Shane.
trying to suck this guy's dick right now? Style?
Listen, stay out of my bear costume, all right? That's for arrest. That's for nothing else, all right?
I just think that this guy is a silly little guy. I think that this guy's silly, and I don't know.
Sounds like you're glorifying him now.
I think he's silly. I think he's a silly guy.
I like the meme. I just don't understand the entitlement
I
and
don't.
where it comes from.
I don't think the meme. Because here's the thing. I feel like grand scheme. This is for TikTok. Grand scheme. He's coming back to his car. He goes into
Like
the.
he wanted to do
He goes
this?
into the grocery store thinking like, okay, I gotta get content out of this. I gotta
That's-
find a way to squeeze some content out of my grocery store trip. Oh, let me go first. Oh, you didn't let me? Here, I'll take your. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my newest TikTok video. I'm your host, Spaghetti Stealer 69. Like
At
it's
Spaghetti Stealer 69.
he's just milking content at the expense of fucking humanity.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I wouldn't consider stealing a bag of spaghetti the expense of humanity. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
All right, well, it
Dude,
got us
see-
talking about him.
The expense of one human's dinner.
Yeah, the expense of one human's dinner. I just think it's like it promotes. I don't think stealing spaghetti in a helpful, like if it's a funny meme, is good. This guy's just an entitled prick and then stole the spaghetti.
But-
that doesn't make the meme of the spaghetti stealing funny now.
But
The context makes it now. Oh, you're just a dickbag who
he
steals
is,
spaghetti.
but that's the thing. I don't think anyone is on his side. Literally, the caption on this is the villains have been outing themselves lately. I think we're all memeing on him. I
but,
think
like-
we're all goofing on him.
Regardless, this is what he wants. He wants us to talk about this.
I don't know. Looking at this guy's face, who you would describe as beautiful, looking at this guy's face, it seems like he is genuinely dumb enough to think that he's in the right. Like, I could see this guy being like, no, this guy's fucking an asshole for not letting me cut ahead of him.
maybe.
That's the vibe I get out of this grout
Maybe.
fit wearing motherfucker.
Maybe.
Why did he buy the spaghetti? Did he?
He didn't buy the spaghetti. He stole the spaghetti.
So the person in front of him bought the spaghetti and he stole it out of one of the bags? How?
No, I'm pretty sure, like, while
Or did
the
he
guy...
steal it in
he
line?
stole it, yeah, he stole it in line
And
before
then
the guy
bought it
checked out.
And then
himself.
bought it?
Yeah.
This is just what? Okay.
I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Why did he,
You cost yourself $1.67 for this prank, man.
Yeah.
He literally could have achieved the same situation and saw the look on the guy's face if he would have just grabbed the box of spaghetti and chucked it across the store.
Okay. Regardless, you're a dickbag. Let's not promote
Well, yeah.
dickbag energy.
Either way, like it's the
just
same
don't
vibe.
do that. Just wait in line.
I just don't see the point in buying it if it just makes no sense to me.
No,
yeah.
I want to
yeah.
know his thought process. I want to climb into his brain and understand why.
Now listen, I think it's a good prank if you
I think it's funny.
no, listen, a completely different scenario. I think a good prank to pull because someone would get mad about it for no reason. Someone in front of you is checking out a line, you steal their spaghetti, you pay for it, right? You take their spaghetti out of their cart and you pay for it without them knowing.
Mhm.
Now it's your spaghetti. But then you catch up with them walking out of the store and be like, hey, took your spaghetti, here you go. and give it back to them.
Pay me.
No, don't ask for the payment back. Just buy their spaghetti and give it back to them because you know they'd get mad and they have no reason to. You saved them $1 something. I think it's a funny little prank, but you know they'd get mad.
I don't know if they would.
Stole your
mad.
spaghetti. I guess.
I think stealing a box of spaghetti is a hilarious crime for some reason. It's so inconsequential. What are you gonna? It hurts you more than anything.
I just don't understand this.
He's just gonna dump it in the New Jersey woods anyway. 216-859-8699. Let me know if you need a box of spaghetti.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show.
The gyros at Arby's are actually pretty good. Gyros.
Oh yeah, no, the gyros at Arby's are
they're gyros, but yeah.
I hate that you call them fucking gyros.
They're gyros. They're gyros. It's a Greek word. Damn
I'm not Greek.
It's a Greek word. Damn it.
Greek.
Dude, get him to the Greek.
I'm not Greek. I don't go in the fucking.
Why do you call it Parmesan? It's Parmesan then for you, buddy.
No, it's not.
Parmigiano.
I'm not
It's
Greek.
called a fucking gyro.
I don't drive through Taco Bell and go, yeah, let me get pollo. I don't do that. I say chicken because I'm not Mexican.
Yeah, Evan, I don't go through the drive-thru and say, I want spaghetti. I say, give me the noodles.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. Of course, we're live every Monday at 5 p.m. Make sure to download the Live 365 app on your iPhone or Android, or I guess there's other phones out there. Your Motorola,
BlackBerry.
Yeah, on your BlackBerry, on your Motorola, on your whatever those weird Chinese phones are. Download it from your app store. Take us with you wherever you go. The Live 365 app, worldwide, pairs with your car stereo, your speaker, your Bluetooth. Anything that connects to the internet connects to WSRR Radio. You can even send the link to your mom or your rent-a-mom.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there's a lady.
Wait, there's moms in the area
Local.
that you can
Oh, the
find?
mom's in my area. Oh, my goodness.
You want to know where you can go to find them?
Grandma's cookies.
StylesRebelRadio.com. Grandma's cookies.
I don't know.
I'm so lost.
I never want to see that episode again, though. Thanks. You ruined an entire episode of SpongeBob for me, Shane. Appreciate it. This lady says, I'm a rent-a-mom for Gen Z college students. Parents pay me $10,000 to cook, do laundry, and bail them out of jail. I think she might be the smartest person alive.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
So initially, when you brought this story, I thought she was getting paid by the college students.
She can. No, it's. I think that's just an example that the parents are paying.
I didn't think about the parents doing it, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, those are
ridiculous parents.
Yeah.
Well, here,
that's helicopter parenting for sure.
There's a quote here. I'm assuming this is from the lady. Oh, it's a whole service. So
that's crazy.
The concierge service for students, or CSS. But there's a quote. We get kids in pre-boarding schools, boarding school, or college, she said, and we take care of their practical needs, medical needs, mental health needs, and beyond.
This was started in 1993.
So this has been a thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
Why am I just now finding you can rent a mom?
That's kind of
what the hell?
It's kind of gangster.
They've got to be making bank.
It has to be super expensive
they
to
do
do this.
Your laundry. That's crazy. I want to rent a mom just to like hang out and do my laundry.
And I'm assuming it's like a yearly.
It comes with a price tag of $10,000 per academic year.
I see. So is she around during the summer then? I wonder.
Maybe.
That's interesting. I wonder if you can pay extra.
Yeah, like an extra $5,000 for the summer.
During
something
the
like
summer, they're with their actual moms.
Yeah, some rich parents.
Listen, I think it's a funny little service that and someone's gonna pay it. Obviously, people are paying it, which is crazy to me.
Right.
But I can rationalize if you are a spoiled brat and you've got a lot of money and not a lot of life skills, being like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna hire a mom to do my cooking and cleaning and fold my laundry. I can rationalize that.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like that's been going on since the 18th. Like queens have been doing that with nannies.
Right.
Since, the 18th.
It's basically just an adult nanny, right?
Right. Literally.
Yeah. I can rationalize that. I think it takes a step further when the services include bailing you out of jail. I mean, I guess that helps with the $10,000 price point.
Right.
Of well, why am I paying $10,000 for an adult nanny?
Right.
If my adult nanny is gonna bail me out of jail at 4 a.m, I might like that $10,000.
And I wonder if...
And they always get their money back. If you show up to your bond hearing, you should get... Whoever paid the bail gets the money back.
Do they? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why people post bail.
I've never met Dog.
I wonder if there are kids who had one of these rent-a-moms in boarding school or like elementary school or something like that, boarding school, and then hired them themselves in college.
Maybe.
That would be interesting. I just need my rent-a-mom back for a couple of years while I'm in college because I feel like I'll fuck off.
See,
so I'll just rent a mom.
I'm gonna make some people mad right now, right? They say being a mom is the toughest job you can have.
Would you be able to...
But this is an actual job now. I think this job might be a little tougher. And you're getting monetary value for it.
The question I have is... So, is this a taxable income? One.
It's got to be. It's a business. It's an LLC.
Yeah.
And two, is the person able to file their taxes as a dependent?
No. Because, again, it's just an adult nanny.
Yeah, I think it's a yearly... you get a yearly salary, I would assume, or a yearly wage.
Yeah, I wonder if you got to pay up front.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, there's probably rates, and it's probably family by family. You can discuss how it goes contractually, I would assume.
Based on your needs,
Imagine
probably.
sitting down to your payment plan with your mom.
Literally. Literally. That's probably how it goes.
Listen, I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a spoiled brat here real quick. I have all the money and none of the skills, so I'm going to rent a mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got my $10,000 up front. I'm going to get the most out of my $10,000. If I'm doing this service already... I'm assuming that I don't really have other people's best interests in mind.
Okay.
If I can't fold my own clothes
right.
and make my own food, right, I'm probably not going to be worried about what this lady thinks or what her schedule is if I'm paying her.
Sure.
That's my mindset if I'm this person hiring the rent-a-mom.
Sure.
So I'm going to get my money's worth, man. I'm going to be asking for snacks at 3 a.m. Be like, I need a lasagna, Mom, right now.
Be a real degen.
Yeah, be an absolute fucking JD hood.
throw the whole house out.
Oh, yeah. I need this whole thing cleaned twice a week.
Yeah, trash the whole house. Be like, sorry, need it cleaned.
Sorry.
That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I wonder what the stipulations are on
how far does it go? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is what they say. They're on call.
On call?
Yeah.
Fucking imagine getting a call and be like, I gotta make a pie. I gotta go.
Oh, this is in Massachusetts too. This is in the States, baby.
You think I can find a rent-a-mom near here?
I thought this was across
There's
the pond, but this
probably-
is around here.
I'm gonna look up a rent-a-mom service.
Good for them. I think this is a really good. Like, I think this is something that should expand if it hasn't already, and we just don't know about it.
I got one in New York.
That makes sense.
I don't see a rent-a-mom in Ohio. That's a shame.
I'm assuming it is expensive. And like, that is, I don't know. You have to have like certain protections as the mom in terms of like legally, like if I get injured at the house or something like that. If I'm
Right.
helping the kid and I get injured, or if I'm on
Yeah, I
call.
wonder if the
and-
company provides insurance, or are you an independent
Right.
contractor?
Like if I'm driving to the house or whatever and I get into an accident, is my car like I don't know. There's
Yeah, can you request rides from your mom?
That's what I'm saying. Like if
Yeah.
it's like a emergency call
Yeah.
and I have to rush to the hospital or something like that, and I
What
get into an
if-
accident on the way, that's like, am I then liable? Because that's
Right.
I don't know. There's
What if your rent-a-mom gets in a car accident and can't follow through?
Yeah, am I
that's
getting
what
my
I'm
money back?
That's what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
if like they get into an accident and they can't.
Are you
be
going to give
there.
me a new mom? Am I going to be issued a new mom on the
Right.
spot? Do you have one in the
Is
reserves?
there going to be a mom on ice? Yeah, just waiting.
I love that musical, Mom on Ice.
They thaw her out like
Walt Disney?
like Han Solo.
Oh, yeah, that's
But it's
probably a
kinda
better
like,
comparison.
It's like when
No,
your
like
mom.
Walt Disney. Yeah. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Oh!
It's like when your mom tells you that she's on her way home and you were supposed to thaw out the chicken, and they're just like thawing out the extra mom really
Yeah, they're
quickly.
thawing out. Shit.
I
Go
listen.
bail him out. Go.
if I am hiring a rent-a-mom, I expect all of the things that I could abuse out of a normal mom. I want to be able to borrow her car.
Mm.
I want
Give me
an
20
allowance.
bucks.
Yeah, I want an allowance for doing chores.
Yeah, I think I definitely would just be like, hey, can I have $20?
Yeah.
Just to see.
You think that's a thing they can do? Is be like, hey, can I
I would
can I
try
get some
it.
spending money?
I wonder if
I would
like
1000%
Yeah.
try it, and I bet these kids do too.
What are you gonna lose? You know?
it would be so good for the like rent-a-mom service to have like some sort of like borrow and like a loan service kind of, but like through a Cash App type thing where you can just request $5 from rent-a-mom and then you pay it back like next week because it's a service and not your actual mom.
God, they've got to be loaded. They've got to be fucking loaded.
Here's a good little story. Solomon, 36, who now lives in
My favorite verse.
yeah. Solomon, who's
I thought you were
who's
about to quote
36
the Bible.
and now lives in Manhattan. He wants his last name withheld for privacy reasons, but he told Post that the moms offered him an emotional safe space when he first relocated from America to America from Saudi Arabia in 2003 at the tender age of 16. So that's nice.
But he was a minor. I understand that more.
He needed a mom.
Yeah. That's what I'm
That's
saying. Like this is
fine.
just like this is just a good example of a use of it.
Right, yeah, no, that's the good use of it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know there's 20-something-year-old kids in college getting a rent-a-mom.
I'm it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move, and if you're not a complete like degenerate dickbag who like actually has like a like if you're just a regular person
Yeah.
who's trying to go about your business, but
Uh-huh.
like you could use some help around the house, or you don't want to cook food or whatever, you just want to do your home, like having a rent-a-mom might not be the worst thing in the world. Like, oh, my laundry's done. That's good. I
don't
needed
know,
that done.
man.
I would have to have done that.
Or like have your rent-a-mom run and grab your groceries or do
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
I feel like you can hire a housekeeper or some kind of nanny or made a lot
there's-
cheaper.
There is all kinds
Lot
of
cheaper.
services.
Maybe, but maybe
I can
not.
go to McDonald's a lot cheaper.
You can do like Instacart.
They got the app.
Well, again, I'm saying maybe it's like a case-by-case scenario where like that's not a $10,000 job. That's maybe like a
Right.
$5,000 contract where like you're helping this college kid just do their laundry and get their groceries and maybe
Yeah.
help with their like light helping with their homework or some shit like that.
It said it was like base $10,000, right,
Yeah, for academic year.
for an academic year. Does it have to be like college or any like? Can it just be a regular adult, not in college or school?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. There doesn't seem to be any kind of restriction on
Like,
who
can I
can
just
hire
do it
rent-a-mom.
now?
Yeah.
Can I just rent a mom now? I don't know. That might be.
Because, like, I don't have a school year for them to base that 10 grand.
That's true.
10 grand on.
How long is a school year?
7
months?
I don't even remember.
Mine was only 8, so
Is it 8 months?
my entire year of school was 8 months. So
Okay, so then yeah,
I'm gonna assume something around there.
8
right?
months is probably then I would assume then that 8 months is the average school year.
Probably.
Listen,
Sounds about right.
I paid 20 grand to make pee-pee jokes in a microphone. I'm not the guy to ask about that.
10 grand for 8 months of a person who
Does your laundry.
Yeah, laundry. I'm assuming
Groceries.
laundry, groceries. I could probably ask them to cook. I could probably have them potentially pick me up every now and again. Probably not all the time, like not my Uber, but I could have them like.
But that's the thing, man. If I'm paying 10 grand, I'm using it every day.
I don't know if I'm using it every day. Like
your first
that's what I'm
call if
saying.
you get
Like I'm not trying to be like overexert it. Like I'd go out on the weekends and I would drink and be like, okay, drive me to and from.
Right.
But I don't think that I would make it like like I wouldn't make it all the time. Always you're driving me to everywhere I go.
I understand that because you're a normal human being who has emotions for other people. I get that. However, 10 grand's a lot of money. And 10 grand better buy me a home-cooked meal every day and a ride to and from. That's what I expect for 10 grand. Or I can just do it myself.
That's,
And they're on call.
Well,
they offered this. They're on call.
I think
I could call them at 4 p.m. and be like, yo, I need a lasagna by 5.
And I bet, here's the thing, I'm saying it's a contractual thing. I bet you could probably get that, but probably not for 10 grand, probably for like 15 grand.
Maybe.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
if there's a plan where I can just get food, I'd be more into that. If like I
and
can
now see it, but what if it wasn't 10 grand? What if it was like 17 grand and you got all you can eat food, all you can eat transportation?
24/7?
They're
17 grand's too much if it's not 24/7.
Like if you wake up at 4 in the morning and call them, they still have to drive to your house.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You would do that for 17?
Maybe if it's a dead guarantee that I can at 4 a.m. I wake up in a hot sweat and go, damn, I need some lobster bisque.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call mom.
Yeah.
And they drive over with lobster bisque.
No, they drive over and either have to stop at the grocery store on the way or something like that. But then they'll make lobster bisque when they get there.
But they're gonna come make me a lobster bisque.
Yes. The average school year.
The problem is it's not an even trade-off, right? Like. And it shouldn't be because they need to make money, and I get that.
Right.
But, like, as me, the consumer of mom.
Right. Right.
You know, as I'm known.
The mom consumer.
The mom consumptionist. If I'm paying 17 grand a year, essentially.
8 months.
8 months. If I'm paying 17 grand for the fiscal year.
Okay.
That's more money than it's going to cost me to go to the store and make 3 meals a day.
Is it?
Probably.
You're probably right. Because you guys are probably right. That makes sense.
My rationale is you go to the grocery store. If you're buying for like 2 weeks groceries, maybe like $250, $300 for 2 weeks, and that's maybe lunch and dinner. You're probably not getting 3 meals every day from it,
right?
Because you're probably going out to eat. You're probably snacking. You probably got leftovers. So it's probably a lot more expensive to hire mom for 17 grand for a year. But that's why I'm saying if I do it, if I'm committed to getting mom for the year, for the 8 months, for the fiscal year, if I'm committed to 8 months of mom, it's gonna be more than 3 meals a day, and it's gonna be, me waking up at 3 a.m.
No, I don't disagree. Mom's
with that. Mom's gonna be in the in-law suite.
I don't disagree with that. I'm definitely getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner from mom if I'm but that's 8 months. I don't know if I'm paying $17,000 though. I think 17.
It's steep.
I would pay $10,000 for the basic needs.
Yeah, what are the plan packages? What are the plan packages I need to know?
I feel like the most average is like $10,000. You get laundry. You get
jail bailout.
Yeah, jail bail. You get food when needed. You can plan that out. And maybe like
a ride?
Like rides, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Not like everywhere to and from. You can just
3
kind of
rides.
I think
I don't think there's a monetary number to it. I think it's just you call them up and if it becomes too much then they're like, I'm going to have to raise your rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the
get, like,
interesting part. Well, I think that's the interesting, because there's got to be stipulations of like when I'm gonna make you, because I'm sure these people aren't waking up at 3 a.m. to cook dinner, right?
Yeah, right.
So there's got to be restrictions.
There has to be some limitations.
That's the part I'm concerned about for this much money.
What are the specific guidelines for the? Hold on, what the hell?
And like you said, if I can negotiate
the concierge service for students,
yeah.
Again, because it's for students.
Yeah.
That's
true.
That's the last S in CCS. So I'm assuming you have to be a student. It's probably something where like you have to be a part of a school to even apply for this program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Interesting.
I mean, that's probably their target demo anyway. So.
Well,
you
yeah,
have to
100%.
apply with your .edu.
Right, you have to apply with your fucking student email or something like that. We can make a fake college, a fake school, and
I've been to a fake school. We can use that one.
Ayo.
That's true. It worked. It worked for my Spotify.
Definitely didn't get an extra year of Adobe for free, or not free, but heavily discounted. You imagine getting? If we were in the same dorm and you had a rent-a-mom, you know how much shit I would give you.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like depending on how much you use it, there's gonna be like social pushback.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're gonna kind of be a weirdo who has like a fake mom around doing all their shit for him. You know,
you got a hot date tonight. Mom better pick us up at 8.
Right.
I feel like this is the best for like those rich kids whose moms are just like off.
Yeah, and I think that's the target demo.
Yeah, it's definitely rich kids who haven't figured out how to transition into adults.
Well, I think it's like the rich families who the mom and dad always want to be away on vacation and like have someone else raise their kid. Essentially, is like, okay, well,
the nanny.
Yeah, here's the CSS. Yeah, it's just a new. I think that this is just like
the new
phrasing. Of a nanny, yeah.
Well, a newer phrasing of what essentially a nanny is. You know,
but
interesting.
Like, I feel like in those situations, most people would just assume that's their mom. How often have they actually? If anything, the only time they're going to see that person's mom is at graduation.
Right.
So that's like the last time.
My question is, like you said, if I am renting a mom, can I negotiate what is included in my package?
I think.
Because I feel like, again, 10 grand's a lot of money. I feel like a lot of that goes to bailing you out of jail. I feel like that being included is a decent chunk of change.
Probably.
If I can sit there and be like, you know what? I think I can keep my nose clean. I don't need the bailout service.
Well,
can we knock $5,000 off this?
Here's the thing too.
These shithead college.
I'm not talking about these shithead. I'm saying if I have 10 extra expendable grand
and mom,
and I need a rent-a-mom for 8 months, as you do sometimes.
Of course.
Can I negotiate the plan?
What, you're gonna tell her to edit the
yeah,
show?
We're gonna have contract negotiations. No, mom's not gonna edit the show, but she's gonna cook me dinner while I do it.
I just feel like the price is depending on the contract, and there is like maybe legal limitations that they have to take. But yeah, I feel like bailing out of jail is a hefty portion of it.
At what point?
But then
gas is probably the bigger one.
But then here's the other thing too: is like, what is the bail then? Because then you have to preset.
There's got to be a limit.
You have to like preset a bail essentially, because bail could be fucking anything. You know what I mean?
$50,000
for what I'm thinking, for 10 grand, bail is probably 3. I don't know why that's the number that comes up to my head.
That's fair. 30% of the 10 grand is bail. That makes sense.
So if I can,
that's a hefty chunk of the pie.
Yeah,
of the percentage pie.
If I can have an interview with potential mom, and I can say, listen, I'm not going to get arrested. All right, my dad's a cop. Works at Nintendo as well. Has a bear costume. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. We're covered. He's got the bear costume.
Dude, listen, I've always got my bear costume, my cuffs on me. I'm solid.
Of course.
There's the riot guys behind me. Can we do 7 on the table? Tag style out the door. I'm going into Rent-A-Mom like it's a car dealership here. I'm looking for the dings and scratches.
Trying to wager out a better price.
I ain't paying sticker price for mom.
Maybe we can do like $2K on the bond thing, you know?
At what point can you just like cut mom out of the picture and hire a maid?
Can you get a refund?
A butler.
She's not up to snuff.
Yeah, this mom's not working out.
I called her at 3 a.m. wanting a lasagna. Didn't show up. Slept in. What the fuck? Came in with some Stouffer's bullshit. It's not what I asked for.
Not gonna lie. Told her I didn't like green beans. Guess what's in the chicken pot pie? Green fucking beans. Seems like I should be getting a refund for that pot pie. I'm sending it back. Take it back to the kitchen. Make me a new one. There's crust on this sandwich, Mom.
Imagine yelling at at your rent-a-mom on the phone in front of your like coworkers that think you're on the phone with Mom.
That's just my
No, don't worry.
mom.
It's my rent-a-mom.
That's just Karen.
Yeah, I can.
Don't worry about it.
I can yell at her.
I wonder what. There's probably a large percent that call them Mom, right?
Probably.
There's also probably a large percentage of these kids that hate their rent-a-mom. I feel like.
Hate you, rent-a-mom?
Yeah.
You're not even my real mom.
We get you at a discounted rate, bitch.
I applied for a grant for you. Listen, man.
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of kids that.
If there's anything we've learned, never pay sticker price for your rent-a-mom. 216-859-8699 if you want to make me a lasagna for less than 10 grand.
Hey, this is Billy from 2 Mile Moon, and you are listening to WSRR Radio, Saving Underground Radio, live 24/7, 365. And we have a show February 29th at Coda in Cleveland. Come out and support. It is on Leap Day. The Gregorian calendar blessed us with another day just for this show. So please, let's make the most of it and come out and support us. We will see you there.
When you're feeling homesick, I just hope you notice an empty space beside you. Just know that it resides by me too. I'm not bulletproof, and it's just me. Is there something that I need to change, as this curtain just stands in my way? I'm blinded by myself. Just hold on to the stillness of the night, but don't get trapped in your own light. How could you when you're standing still? Yesterday just feels like another day. This curtain is still blinding me, yet I continue to hold it still. Oh, yesterday just feels like another day. This curtain is still blinding me, yet I continue to hold it still. Blue skies when I look around, but I decide not to make a sound. 'Cause I won't speak up, but I don't wanna be heard. So just hold on to the little hope you have. You'll feel better and you won't feel as bad as you used to feel. Yesterday, it just feels so far away from where I need to be, yet I continue to stand still. Yesterday just feels like
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
You know, for the third week in a row, I'm just chugging that ayahuasca. It's a crutch.
Would you do an ayahuasca
No.
tour thing?
No.
So immediately ready to turn that heel. Just so immediately, not even a thought.
He's
Grace's
watched
head.
so many
It was
videos.
so like instantly no. Obviously not, dipshit. Why would I ever consider? What makes you think I would ever consider that? The fact that I say constantly that I'm presently doing ayahuasca? Maybe. I don't know.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. To my right is Shani. On the board is Jules.
Hello.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style. You're listening to WSRR Radio, either on Live 365 or stylesrebelradio.com. But if you're listening live on this Monday evening, I will say once again, and this is going to sound weird during the Rebel recasts, but we're not live on Facebook right now for the simulcast. Zuck kicked us off, so if you are trying to get the video feed for this, the uncut, unedited simulcast every Monday, you can go to YouTube right now. We're streaming live on YouTube. The video will be up there afterwards. Maybe we'll be there next week and the week after. Maybe we'll try Twitch. We don't know yet. Let us know where you would want to see the live simulcast. 216-859-8699. The Rebel hotline to text in 24/7, 365. You can do it for all of our shows. Even if the world ends, the phone number will still be there. Don't quote me on that. Don't sue me. That's probably not accurate.
I mean,
world's going to end in 2060 anyway.
We got some time. We got a little bit of time.
A couple of years.
Yeah, I think
2 or 3 years.
I think it'd be good.
When we did
only a couple more years for
couple more.
2060.
We did a video, or we have video. We did technically we did because of simulcast.
Right.
We did an episode during conspiracy season about the end of the world, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
oh.
well, because we
Phantom Times.
Phantom Time and end of time theory, right?
Yeah.
Because we talked about the fact that we're not actually living in 2024. It's like 1760 something, right?
Oh yeah, because of there's like a certain calendar that
Yeah.
made it so because
Yeah, there's a whole like 300-year span that doesn't exist for some reason.
That was the Phantom Time theory.
Yes.
Where there was 300 years
that we don't have any actual historical record of during the dark period or the Renaissance, one of the two.
Yeah.
But there's 300 years that we can't account for some reason.
Right.
Talked about that during the Phantom Time theory, which led us into the end of time theories, which there have been 100 of. And we talked about, there were theories in the year 300. There were theories in all these other,
2012, the Mayan.
Right. 2012, Y2K
calendar.
was one.
Yeah.
We talked about 2016 or 18, somewhere in there was another one.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2020 and 2022 were fucking thrown in there for some reason. But one thing that I never saw, and we had the whole list pulled up of years that the world was supposed to end.
This is interesting that this is the first that we're hearing about this. If we did that whole,
right? Because we sat here and we had it was a Wikipedia article that had year by year of when the world was supposed to end, why it was supposed to end, who said it.
Yeah, who predicted it and when and shit like that.
Yeah, and it was detailed. They had AD periods just from random dudes being like, well, this is going to happen this year because God's coming back.
Right.
Which a lot of that list didn't make sense in that regard of AD, and that was the reason. But regardless, or BC, I should say, Isaac Newton predicted the world would end in 2060, which is pretty close, getting pretty close to 2060.
Yeah, we're getting a little close. Definitely
closer than we've ever been.
Closer than we've ever been, and we will definitely see it.
But we will only get closer. It's starting to sound like Beyond Bounds now.
Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Not sponsored by Journey, but we'd like to be.
That would be cool.
Steve Perry on the show, friend of the show, Steve Perry.
Yeah,
good friend.
Good friend.
Good friend. Us and Steve, we go way back.
Yeah.
Old Stevie. But Isaac Newton predicted that the world would end in 2060, and I saw this article this morning, and it's legitimately a document that he had written that said, "Hey, 2060 is probably going to be the end of the world," and he dates it back from 17 something. I'm sorry. Time and a half, 42 months, or 1,260 days, 3 years and a half. He does this whole mathematical breakdown based on the coming of the millennia.
Yeah.
Which is the return of Christ. And he has a whole mathematical breakdown of why it should be 2060.
Dude. Newton had some sick lore. Hold on. I'm just reading a quote from this article that I'm reading about this specific topic. Newton believed in apocalyptic visions in the Bible where a battle of Armageddon would occur between, quote, Gog and Magog.
Gog and Magog?
You heard me. At the end of days. That's pretty sick.
That's some Secret War shit right there.
In 36 years, we're going to meet Gog and Magog.
I guess so, man.
Listen, all right. I know Isaac Newton's a pretty smart guy. And I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say the end of the world is not going to be 2060 because it could be. And what do I know?
It definitely could be.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Could be a lot sooner.
Right.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, it could be tomorrow.
Right.
But Isaac Newton also died a virgin, and he died from ingesting mercury. So those are two pretty big things. He's tried to make gold in his attic and died from mercury poisoning.
Yeah.
So, like...
Fuck you, virgin.
He also... No one talks about this when they talk about Isaac Newton. I think it's a pretty fun fact. So let me know if you've ever heard this. You too, listening at home, 216-859-8699. It's 99. It's science time.
Science time.
I'll go through a little science lesson. Isaac Newton blinded himself or nearly blinded himself in one of his eyes because he believed that we were restricted in the colors we could see. And the key to that was breaking apart the rods and cones in your eye. So he stuck a needle into his eye, lost complete color in one of his eyes, and almost went blind because he thought he was going to unlock the ability to see more color.
Damn it, Isaac. Yeah, that is something that I believe. I don't think that we can see all colors. I think that there are more colors out there that we'll be able to see one day.
But I don't think that's the way to do it.
No, I don't think that that's the way to do it.
And, luckily he proved that, so we don't have to, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah.
But, logically you wouldn't think that that's how you do it.
I wasn't going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Shane? I was pretty good on not sticking a needle in my eye to see more colors.
Shane.
Scientists are just crazy until sometimes it just works out. And then we blindly follow them, and it's terrifying.
Pretty much.
I'm not going to say I could have, figured out the weight of gravity. That's a pretty big one. That was a pretty big one he did. You know? Laws of motion, those are three pretty big things. Still pretty applicable. As far as I can tell, an object in motion stays in motion. All right? As far as I can tell, that one still plays.
Yeah.
However,
I think that adds up. That lines the tracks.
I don't know. I don't know if we should be taking this to heart that the world's going to end in 2060.
I think it's listen, I'm preparing for the day.
Time for doomsday preppers.
Yeah.
Time to prep.
I'm preparing.
The Obamas let us know with that movie.
Yeah. The Obamas let us know, and now Isaac's here.
And now he's here.
Now Isaac's here.
Now he's here. I do think
I'm getting ready for Gog and Magog.
Not Magog, dude. I do think it's interesting that we didn't see this on the list or any researcher did for the end of the world, and then randomly it pops up.
Yeah.
And it's not like, Isaac Newton dropped a new fucking theory. That didn't happen.
Yeah, where has this been?
That would be sick if he did drop a new theory. I hope he does.
You guys
soon.
get that new Newtonian drop?
Yeah, I'm hoping he drops something soon.
It's been a while.
Where's this been
I miss
hiding?
the old Isaac.
Did a scientist just find this in Isaac Newton's?
No, this is just a well-known document, apparently.
Oh.
I think it's interesting that they would make predictions about that was something that they did. If you were like a big famous scientist, you'd just be like, well, I feel like this is when the world will end. Or I feel like this is they would just make bold predictions and
that's what I'm saying. They're actually crazy, and we just blindly follow them because they proved a couple things right.
And scientists are still probably doing that shit today.
Yeah, you ever heard of global warming, Chief?
They're just saying shit, and it's like, well, I hope it's...
I don't know if you guys have heard this. We are officially out of global warming and into the next key term. Ready for this? Global boiling.
Uh-oh.
Can't wait.
Fucking boiling, boys.
Dude, I'm boiling.
We're a goddamn lobster in a pot.
It's a boiler room in here.
Mankind, any minute will pop out of this bitch.
Yeah, we're like lobsters in this pot.
Yeah, so, there's definitely still the same exact thing happening now.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that I saw this morning, and never before have I haven't even heard anyone talk about Isaac Newton predicting the end of the world. There's a lot of crazy Isaac Newton stories.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't he like a silly guy? Wasn't he another one of those silly guys?
I think he was just insane.
Okay.
So, like...
Fair enough.
He discovered the laws of motion and gravity.
Yeah.
and then started trying to make gold out of mercury and lead and started drinking mercury because he thought it would make him live forever or something, and then stuck a needle in his eye and then completely abandoned science and got a job as a bank teller at one point.
So why are we believing his end of the world
That's what I'm
theory?
saying.
Yes.
Why are we taking? Why are
Same.
Why are we? I mean, I get it. It's Isaac Newton. He was a cool fella at one point.
That's his description. If you look in a history book,
Cool
Isaac
fella.
Newton, cool fella.
Cool
I
fella.
feel like
Drank mercury.
Yeah, at one point.
he's batting like 40%.
And also, I know people used to drink mercury back in the day as like a thing. And again, shouldn't. All of them were stupid, but he drank excessive amounts of mercury to where he got mercury poisoning and died.
Here's something else. Here's you gotta give him. You want to talk about batting averages and shit like that?
Sure.
The man.
That's what we were talking about.
The man invented motion and gravity.
Yeah.
Those are
That's the
two.
40%.
Those are huge scientific
Yeah,
discoveries.
I'll
Those
give
are
it to 'em.
humongous, especially for back then when they didn't have like iPhones. They just were like, okay, well,
Imagine if the iPhone came before the discovery of gravity.
that shit would.
Do you
but,
think it'd
like,
be called Apple?
They really took everything that he said. His word was bond after that. He invented gravity. Everything else that he said, they were like, okay, gravity, man. You invented this shit. The reason that we are on Earth right now is because of what you said.
I mean,
anything else that you say is probably at least 60% true.
That's probably why no one stopped him when he started chugging mercury and trying to make gold. Because they're like, well, he knows what he's doing, right?
That's why
Who are we to say?
That's why we're still talking about his end of the world theory.
But we aren't.
He invented gravity.
He didn't invent gravity.
He just figured
discovered
it out.
He kind of did.
Gravity was always here.
He kind of did. Did we invent math or discover it? Style? These are big questions we have to ask ourselves. All right?
Did we invent math or just? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Ponder that one for a minute, buddy. We're talking about Isaac right now, though. Yeah. Hold on. We got to move on. No. Think about that one later.
No, I'm thinking about it now.
It's a big thing to think about.
You hurt my brain with that. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a big thing to think about.
I gotta call the pit. This is a Beyond Bounds episode
It's
now.
It's a big thing to think about.
Because who's to say numbers represent these values? And what are imaginary numbers? And why do they exist?
Right.
So Isaac Newton.
And now there's new math?
Right.
Literally, we could have just created a bunch of bullshit, and Isaac Newton is full of bullshit because the numbers don't mean anything. And the points don't matter.
We just kind of believe him. We're like, yeah, things are relative. If I put something up high and I'm on the earth, it will fall towards the earth because weight.
Well, yeah,
but
weight
the number,
and air.
But he discovered it falls at like 8.36 or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, right. Like
4-1.
he
assigned
did the, he
random
crunched
ass
the
numbers.
He crunched the numbers.
He checked.
And we were all like, yeah, okay, sure.
So that makes sense.
But
have we checked since?
Probably. There's probably like
I think gravity is
science
still in
fairs.
check. I don't think we've had anything go haywire with gravity recently.
Listen, dude. All right, this is the same world we live in now, where someone's like, "Hey, everything orbits the Earth," and we believed it for centuries.
No,
and then
did.
Galileo was like, "You're fucking wrong."
No.
So that could happen tomorrow.
I don't.
They could be
disagree
like,
with
actually,
that.
the Chevy Silverado. It's what's keeping us all here. They put off oxygen, and we can all believe it.
And then we'd all get the
It's been
Chevy Silverado.
It's been the Silverado this whole time. Chevy stock just skyrockets.
It'd be a hell
You
of a
guys
truck
don't
month.
understand. The Chevy Silverado is the only thing withstanding life on Earth
The
anymore.
reason we breathe air right now is because the Chevy Silverado is here.
We stopped breathing clean oxygen a long time ago, and that Silverado is the last thing keeping us in check. But anyone could come out tomorrow and be like, nope, this thing is wrong. We got the wrong number for gravity. Gravity has changed.
Yeah.
Science is a myth, all of it.
Well,
I
every
don't
once in a
disagree.
while-
There's that Men in Black quote that's really good. He's like, he says essentially what you said. Or like, 10,000 years ago, they believed that Earth was the center of the universe, and 5,000 years ago, they believed that we were the center of the universe. Imagine what you'll believe tomorrow. You believed that aliens weren't real yesterday. Imagine what you'll believe tomorrow.
I was really trying to think of any other quote from Men in Black. I couldn't think of one damn thing they say in that entire franchise.
That's what the white guy says to Will Smith at the very beginning.
The white guy.
I fucking forget his name. It's like Dr. L or something like that.
Let's go with Dr. L. Let's go with Dr. L.
They go by
when
initials.
When Dr. L tells Will Smith, hey,
Men in Black.
216-859-8699.
Watch Men in Black. It's good.
You're listening to WSRR Radio. Hopefully, not in the airport. I've got a bomb!
Hey, Dad. Your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad. Your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey. Why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Whoever's the owner of the gray sedan, you left the Rebel Radio Show playing.
Well, Dr. L, it occurred to me during the break that we're looking at two very different articles because you have what appears to be a scary Assaultron, Ultron-looking robot on your screen.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the robot from the 90s Nintendo Power.
Oh, you have like an iRobot.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
That's
I don't
a different Will Smith movie.
I don't want to kill that robot.
Yeah, this movie is like the block. He looks like Rob.
Yeah, he looks like a little fun Herbie.
This is the little Japanese robot that does a little dance on stage, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. But why am I looking at this?
So...
hang on, let me guess. Are we talking about AI?
Today, drum roll please, we're talking about AI. And I know that that's a super new topic to you guys, so that stands for artificial intelligence. And essentially what this is it's like if computers were more. If they were
more. Dude,
yeah.
You're on it today.
Pretty much.
You really do sound like Mr. L.
If they were
Dr. L.
If they were human. No, but so this article is scientists propose an AI kill switch in case things go in case things go wrong badly, very badly, in case they go wrong. And I just think that that's an interesting topic altogether. Should there be a big AI kill switch, and also how would that work?
Yeah.
How do you make a big AI kill switch for every AI ever when people are making different AI chatbots and different AI things that draw and make video and every day?
What you're asking for is a EMP.
I guess. Well,
because I don't know how else you would, like you said, how do you shut down all of the servers on the mainframe?
Kill the internet.
I would assume that it's a process of you have to get your AI registered and approved by a board, and then after that
you have to put this code into
right,
your system.
right, and then if a certain day comes where this board feels like AI has gone too far, they'll like hit a big red button.
See, this is the problem that we keep running into every time we talk about AI, is we go back and forth between AI is scary and dangerous, and I agree with that. But also, I don't want the government limiting my AI, but I think there should be limitations on AI. Yeah, but I don't want registered AI, because then there's going to be unregistered AI.
I think I'd be. I don't know. I guess I don't want government limiting my AI, but like at the
then
same time,
we're gonna have a whole TV channel that says, "I want my AI."
I feel like it's necessary to an extent.
It was an MTV joke.
It
Wasn't. It wasn't funny,
like,
actually.
This is like Civil War.
Captain America.
We're living in Civil War right now. This is the Superhero Registration Act right now.
Honestly,
we're literally living in that, and we have to decide if the superheroes need to sign up or not.
I watched that movie last night.
We need to decide if they're going to sign up or not.
Yeah. So my issue with it is, we talked a couple weeks ago about how AI is going to become cable. It's going to become so monopolized by so many different markets that you're going to be paying for something that you know can do more, but you don't have the subscription, so they lock you out of it.
Specific services at a specific rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be microtransaction city with AI.
Right.
And my issue with this is the first correlation I made when you talked about registration is it's going to be like Adobe, where I'm paying $600 for the entire Adobe suite. You'd think I'd be able to use it as I please, but no, I can only log into 2 accounts. And then it tells me, nope, can't have any more. You've reached your limit. Buddy, I am paying $600 for this.
Right.
That is what we're going to see with robot registration acts.
Right. Yeah, I feel like this will become a situation where, like, I think there'll be a board, and you'll have to pay to get your AI registered. You'll have to pay for these AIs, and then if it's a yearly subscription, and for whatever reason they hit the AI kill switch, well, you already paid that yearly subscription, so you can't do anything.
Where's my money?
Right, like you won't be able to get your money back, or like it will, like you were saying, it will only be able to do specific things for a limited rate.
Yeah. So let me bring up my 2 points with this, because one, again, I do think there should be some restriction to it. Every time we talk about AI, we bring up the fact that ChatGPT had the right mindset in mind when OpenAI first started developing AI. Hey, we're gonna make sure we have these walls that you can't break the AI, you can't try and work around it. It's not gonna be able to do certain things,
right?
Because that's bad. We also talk about every time that immediately after ChatGPT started blowing up, Chaos GPT came out, and all these other clones that are just doing the same thing without the restrictions. Because if you have one, the other is going to exist. So no matter if it's marketable or not, it will exist somewhere, and someone can make it.
Well, yeah, that's
for the bad.
I feel like we're gonna start hearing about rogue AIs or like illegal AIs that are like, it's maybe like a hacking team that has a hold of this AI that can mimic specific things to get money or information out of companies or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it will turn into something like that, and then we'll hear on the news, Poopy Squad, the hacking team known as Poopy Squad has used this rogue AI to get, Phil Collins to donate $50 million because he has an AI video of, I don't know, but like we're gonna start seeing.
I was invested in that story. We're gonna talk about it next week.
We're gonna start seeing like rogue AI doing illegal shit, and we're gonna start hearing about it, or at least I don't know, something along those lines, because of things like this where
blackmailing celebrities to get their deep fakes off of the internet.
Yeah.
If you start registering AI, though, again, I do think there should be limitations. But if you start making a registration for AI, if you are an AI company, if you are doing anything in artificial intelligence, you have to go through this board or this committee to get this registration for you to legally sell or use your material, right? To use the software, essentially, right?
Sure.
That's what we're proposing.
Sure.
Instantly, the dark web and the deep web are going to be filled with people who aren't going to go through legal ways of using their AI.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot cheaper, probably, to just find some guy who knows how to code AI and make you what you want.
Right.
That is what's going to happen. Right. Wait, what?
That's when you make it illegal.
No, you don't, because it already exists, and people are going to do it anyway.
Yeah, you can't stop people from learning code and coding.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
at this point, it's
you
so
want to look at
open
it
and available.
You want to look at it like driving, because it's a very easy thing to. Sure, people drive illegally,
right?
But you run a pretty big risk driving legally with how many cops are out, with how many restrictions there are, with technology that we use now, right?
Right.
You get pulled over, you're pretty much done.
Right.
If you drive without a license or you drive illegally, you're on a suspended license, you're pretty much done for, right? All of us have a car, all of us have a registration for that car, and all of us pay our insurance for that car. That's a well-registered system that works. And I think it's a little too high, and that's a conversation for a different time about taxation. However, that's how they want to look at this registration.
Mm-hmm.
But no one is going on the secret underground road and selling cars without registration. That's not a thing that's happening. That's not a thing that's that. You can buy a car with a scratched off VIN number and it's illegal and you're going to get busted for it.
That's valid.
But that's not going to be as common as anyone in the world that can hop online who has a knowledge of coding and make an AI program.
Well, like, here's my question. Are you going to get busted for something like a VIN number? I'm thinking in terms of, like, unless you're actively doing crimes regularly, if you just have a scratched off VIN, if you buy a car illegally through an illegal process with a scratched off VIN, you can still pretty much do anything that you would need to the car itself, right? Like, if you know how.
Well, here's the thing. It's a chance I wouldn't take because of the steps that we have in play. So you buy a car with scratched off VIN, you still got to buy a plate for it. How are you going to get a plate? You have to get a plate illegally then because you can't give your VIN number to the DMV to get a plate.
No, yeah.
Then the cop's going to see you and he's going to run your plate because you're not going to be able to get a tag for your plate either. So if you get a tag that doesn't look like the correct tag, they're going to have to run your plate. Your plate's not going to come back. They're going to pull you over.
Oh, dude, people rip off tags.
I guess, yeah. I think you're a lot more likely to get caught, though, doing that than looking for some AI module. That's my thing.
No, yeah.
I think we're comparing apples to oranges in that sense, and I think that's what they're doing with the kill switch. It's a great idea. I think it should have a kill switch. But unless you're going to EMP the whole fucking internet system, I don't think it's going to work. You can put a kill switch on ChatGPT or OpenAI or Google or Bing or any of those softwares, sure. But there's still going to be AI that doesn't abide by the kill switch.
Well, I just don't think that there will ever be, because think about it as like a file that you can just put in a drive, or you can keep on a hard drive on a computer. Like it doesn't matter if you EMP the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that'll take out maybe 70% of them or something like that, you know, some odd percentage of them.
Sure.
But like there's still going to be programs that are locked away that aren't on the internet but made on a computer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's my logical answer to this, and I don't think it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you were to start marketing they're calling this a kill switch.
Yeah.
Call it like a kill switch SD or something like that. I'm going to sell you an SD card that has a program on it. So if something gets a hold of your computer, if some kind of AI module you're running starts to get a hold of your computer, you plug that in, shuts it down. Sure.
Interesting.
Kills the computer, right?
Sure.
Boots it right back up. It's a hard reboot. You can probably just do that by putting a boot on a jump drive, honestly, and hitting enter.
Sure.
However,
like a kill card.
Right. I'll sell one of those. Don't think it's going to work, but I think that's a lot more logical of an answer to sell that than try to install a kill switch on everybody's AI. I think that's a logical explanation. But then you run into the problem of, well, people are going to be malicious with that and put malware on that.
Or just put it into somebody else's computer. And
funny prank. It's just like stealing pasta. Funny prank. Kill someone's computer.
I mean, I think it's in reality, it's like monetizing and marginalizing a new market. This is how the government is monetizing and marginalizing this new idea of AI. You know, we're going to have to make it all go through this system, this tunnel that we all have to go through now. And we all have to give you the big stamp of approval, and you all have to pay for it. The end. That's how everything else works. That's how this is going to work.
So even in this proposition, at least from the article I have pulled up, it says they don't go into detail about how they would plan to do this.
That's
but
interesting.
It says it would include both hardware and software layers to AI modules.
That's interesting.
But it doesn't have a plan. So again, they're at the same part we are. The people that are getting paid to think about this are at the same fucking crossroads we are of.
Right.
Well, I'd like to stop it, but how?
Right.
We've probably gone into more detail than they have in this article of, okay, well, we need to kill the hardware and the software. How? Good question.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, if it's someone who isn't connected to any form of internet and is just writing code for specific AIs, or like like the basic ones say, but they're not connected via internet, it's just something that's on their computer, that it doesn't matter if there's they won't insert the new whatever the hard drive is or whatever the new hardware is that would deactivate this, you know what I mean?
If Let me ask you a question real quick, and this is kind of on topic.
Sure.
Can I just bootleg internet? Can I make my own internet if I knew how to? Can I make my own router and my own connection?
Probably. I don't see why not.
That's a workaround to all of this. 216-859-8699. You wouldn't download the internet.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Want to listen on the go? WSRR radio streams live 24/7, 365, absolutely free with the Live 365 app. You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show, legal in 47 states.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. I'm radio's Rebel DJ Style. It's my right is Shani.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Hello.
216-859-8699. That's the number to text in. I don't know what that was. I really don't. It wasn't anyone.
Always working on our delivery.
Yeah.
Always working on our delivery.
There's
always
no
be
mistakes when
different.
it's live.
Right. Could always be different.
Yeah.
Work a little harder.
Yeah.
All right, let me know how you liked that. 216-859-8699. Maybe we'll do the whole show next week in that delivery. We'll see how that goes. We like talking about AI.
Yeah, we do.
We like talking about spaghetti.
Yeah, we do.
We like talking about Marvel.
Yeah, we do. Fantastic Four got announced. We talked about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Last week?
Yeah.
I'm working on my delivery too. So
I'm
I
working
figured
on my yes. I can go higher on the third one.
There's some Marvel news that we could talk about this week.
Yeah.
It's there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, so I just wanted to cover a couple things. And first things first, Fantastic Four. They're announced. The cast was announced on Valentine's Day.
I'm excited to talk about Fantastic Four because you know very well that Fantastic Four is a movie or a franchise that I have been wanting for a long time.
They're sick, dude.
They are one of my favorite supergroups.
They're Marvel's first family.
Yeah. They are synonymous with the introduction with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That comic is probably my favorite comic of all time. The first crossover with Fantastic Four Spider-Man.
Tries to join the Fantastic Four, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here, Spider-Man."
Fantastic Four's got a lot of cool lore. It's the way I look at them is they're like the X-Men without the filler.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about guys constantly joining in or getting kicked out or having splinter cell groups. They keep it to the core four for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, there are variants in the comics where you got like second Reed Richards or children of Reed and Sue, but for the most part, it's the core four here. And it always
Yeah.
is. You got the Silver Surfer, who's not actually a Fantastic Four member. He's just there.
He's the Herald of Galactus.
God, I love the Silver Surfer. He's so silver.
He's so silver.
He's so silver.
And he's in Fortnite. You know,
He is.
he's from Fortnite, actually.
Silver Surfer from Fortnite, yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have a canon Fantastic Four now.
Yeah. So it is Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. This guy's name is Eddie Muntz in
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. What's his name? Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm. The
Eddie
Human
from Stranger
Torch.
Things.
Yeah, Eddie Muntz. Eddie Munch.
Munch, I think. It's been a minute since I
I
watched
haven't
Stranger
seen
Things.
it. And then Ebon Moss Backrack, who's from The Bear, apparently, but he is the Thing.
Who was
Ben Grimm?
Who was the original Thing in the first live-action movie, the Sony one?
I just heard about him recently.
Or Fox? Fox?
I forget his name. Yeah, Fox. I forget his name.
I think he should have been cast again as the Fantastic Four. He did a good job.
I don't like Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Reed Richards is a smart, kind of like a dickbag. Like, he's so smart that he's kind of mean, you know?
We talked about it on off-air recently, that I don't get the appeal of Pedro Pascal. I don't. He seems like an okay actor.
I think he's a nice guy, and I think he's friends with a lot of people in Hollywood, so they all just like him, and so then he gets a lot of praise from within Hollywood of like, oh, he's a great guy, and then all the videos and clips that we see are of him being really sweet or like telling a funny, heartwarming story, and we're like, and so then he just kind of becomes liked by everyone generally,
He's got plenty of fan pages on TikTok.
Yeah.
People go crazy for him.
He was Mandalorian. He was also he was in The Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Which was huge.
Yeah, I mean, I guess two pretty big franchises,
Right. So
with
like
very devoted fan bases.
He was in Narcos too, apparently. I didn't watch Narcos, but that was a big,
that does sound familiar, actually.
That was a big show on Netflix.
I've never seen anything that he's been in,
yeah,
honestly.
neither have I. But I mean, I don't know, I just feel like he's not he seems too nice. He seems too like father figure nice, and I feel like Reed Richards is kind of like a isolated. He's so smart that he can't even connect with his wife. He's like, I gotta focus on the mission. I stretch, my arms stretch, and I'm smart.
That's what he does. He stretch. He's in constant agony. He has no control over the stretching.
Arms.
If you guys haven't seen the Fantastic Four, this is the premise of Reed Richards. He's in constant agony because he can't stop stretching.
Yeah.
He has no control over it. He's so long and lanky.
Yes.
The thing with Pedro Pascal, I don't know. Obviously, and again, that movie's not out yet.
Right.
What was that noise? Pedro?
What's up, guys? It's me, Pedro.
Yeah, that's how he sounds.
Here to talk about the movie with you guys.
He's dinging on the bell. I don't know how I'm going to like Pedro Pascal. I think
it'll be good.
I think there is a possibility he does well. Yeah. My issue is we had two really good... Of the shit movies we've had, we had two really good castings of Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I think the first Reed Richards was very good.
What was the first guy's name?
I just tried to look it up, and I'm not going to try and pronounce it, my man. Eon? Is it Ian?
Eon Grufford. That's a good last
Eon
name.
Grufford. He's definitely like Swedish and not Southern, but Eon Grufford. He was very good, Reed Richards, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He is definitely a very modernized early 2000s take on a superhero.
Right.
But I think he did a very good job as Reed Richards. He was believable.
Right.
John Krasinski, who everybody wanted to be Reed Richards for some reason,
that bothers
was
me.
cast as Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And I think he did a pretty good job. He
Now
only
they
had
don't
like
want
a,
him. Now they don't want him.
Which is crazy to me. He had a 4-minute fucking scene in Doctor Strange.
They're like, we don't like him. Actually,
you know what?
After we wanted him for all that time, now we don't want him at all.
You know what I like about John Krasinski's Reed Richards that dawned on me a long time after I saw it? We talked about the fact that the new wave of Marvel movies, and Marvel seemingly as a studio tries to do a lot of fan service by making people comic accurate.
Right.
We haven't seen bearded Reed Richards, and he gave us bearded Reed Richards.
Yeah, we saw
I
it.
enjoyed that.
We saw it.
Yeah,
It was
it's a very
there.
minor thing, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed older bearded Reed Richards, and that's who John Krasinski played.
The other big... So, really quick, just running through.
Go ahead.
Vanessa Kirby, haven't seen her in anything else. Same with Eddie Muntz and The Thing. Haven't seen them in anything else. But it's supposed to be set in the 60s.
Yes.
It's going to be like a period piece set in the set in the before 4 times.
Which clearly disproves that Marvel is listening to the Rebel Radio Show, because we pitched this like 2 years ago of having 60s style superhero movies for period pieces.
Let's do it.
So they've been listening.
Yeah, you're welcome. We will accept our checks whenever you want to send them.
Yep, send them right to the studios, 216-859-8699. Go ahead and shoot me a text with a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they make
Just
it
a
out to?
text of a
60s
check.
style?
Yeah. We also talked about last week when we talked about Deadpool and Wolverine that we're probably going to see some Fantastic Four cameos in there in the Dead Zone.
Very, very potentially.
So we might see John Krasinski or the other Fantastic Four in there.
That would be really cool.
And if that's the case, I understand this more, of them moving away from all of them and being like, this is your new Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We're putting a bow on that one.
Yeah.
And I'd accept that a lot more.
I think that's kind of what they're going for, like completely fresh slate. They want to, wipe the board completely and be like, okay, this is our stab at a Fantastic Four. And I like that it's going to be set in the 60s. I think that'll be really cool. And I think that will be, like, there can be some multiversal shenanigans or
well, there's going to have to be, right? Because
some time-traveling shenanigans, and then by the end of the movie, they end up in the modern times, and people are like, who are you guys? And they're like, what do you mean? We're the Fantastic Four. We're super popular.
Yeah.
They're like, no, who the fuck are you guys?
The fuck?
Who the hell are you guys?
You guys went to the Grand Canyon? We could have used your help.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the direction they're going to go, because how else do you tie in Spider-Man #1 and, put him into the MCU #2? Right. But if they don't, it's a very interesting DC move of making the Joker a period piece and then not following up on it at all.
Right.
And now there's a Joker 2 coming out.
I mean, I think that they'll follow up on this. I think that, I really think that this will end with, like Captain America, where by the end of it, he, is in New York City, and he's like, oh, I'm not in the 60s anymore. I'm not in the 40s anymore.
If you ask me, and I'm pure speculation, I know nothing about this movie other than this poster.
Right.
If you ask me, this movie ends or draws to its climax with Reed Richards obtaining the Tesseract, and that is going to lead to them coming into the multiverse either by someone coming back to this period where Reed Richards was in contact with the Tesseract to get it from him, or them going forward because they had the Tesseract before the events of the Avengers.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you go with this. And obviously, Dr. Doom's probably going to be led into the MCU that same way, which if what we talked about last week is true, we're speculating they're going to replace Kang as the big bad with Dr. Doom.
Sorry, what's your name? Kang actor.
Jonathan Majors. I'm not
Kang.
Did he beat women?
Sorry, Mr. Majors.
You wouldn't even say the freaking Sketty Stealer's name, but you'll
I
say
forgot his name. Sorry, John.
Hey, who's the guy from Leave the World Behind?
Obama?
Not Obama.
Who is the guy from Leave the World Behind? I don't remember.
But he's signed to a Marvel contract to play Blade, by the way.
Oh yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah, starts with an E.
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali, that's what it is.
Ali.
Doesn't start with an E.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali's been signed to play Blade for a long time.
Right.
Completely forgot about it.
Right, we just haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. You texted me about a Marvel thing, and
so they could scrap that and just make him Kang.
They won't.
They could. No, but they very well could.
I don't think they
it's
will.
just really hard to make announce a movie
and then make it,
and then it's tough.
Well, we got a little bit of other Marvel news, right, on top of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so Spider-Man's in big trouble, too. So Spider-Man 4 coming out soon, right? Spider-Man 3 was Toby and Andrew and Tom, and it was sick, and we all loved it.
Spider-Man 3 was Peter and the Hobgoblin and the Sandman and Venom, right?
Okay, you're right. You got me. Sorry. But no, so they're planning to do Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, right? He's all alone now, lives in an apartment by himself.
New York, right?
Nobody knows who he is. Yeah, in New York. Nobody knows who he is. His identity is secret. All that good stuff. But there is currently...
he moved from New York
to
Boston.
I don't think he went to Boston at the end of it. I could be totally wrong. No, because the end of it, he's swinging around New York.
You're right.
He moved into that random little
he just moved into a small little... Because he had to, finish high school.
Yep,
remember? He had that GED book. But...
And they need the guy who asks for rent. They need Mr. Ditkovich to come back.
He needs to make his...
That is the only MCU cameo I really
triumphant return.
Yeah.
It needs to be his daughter now. that owns.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, I need to hear him bitch about the door to him.
Canonical story.
You fix that damn door. All right.
But there is tension between Marvel and Tom Holland and Kevin Feige and Sony because supposedly the story goes that Sony wants to bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and do like a big multiversal adventure movie with the other Spider-Man. But Kevin Feige is strung very thin right now with things like we just talked about, the Fantastic Four and Blade, and he's got a bunch of movies that he's planning, and these Avengers Secret Wars movies, and Deadpool, and he's stretched very thin right now.
Which let's not forget, at the end of 2023, they scrapped all of their plans except for Deadpool, because of things like this.
Right, and so Sony wanting to do a big multiversal movie, Kevin Feige and Tom Holland are both like, wait. We just reset Peter Parker's whole story.
Yeah.
We made him like street
he said
level.
Goodbye.
Yeah, he said goodbye. He's a nobody now. He's just Spider-Man.
We're starting over.
Yeah, we're starting fresh. Like, he lives by himself. He can just be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, street level superhero kind of guy. Be friends with Daredevil and the Fantastic Four and shit like that. And Sony's like, no.
He can make his own villains.
But so that is a big problem right now, and it seems like Sony is on with the release of Madam Web and how much that movie flopped.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're on a bad track record right now, and like I'm me personally, as a big Spider-Man fan, I'm kind of worried that Spider-Man 4 is going to be like a shit movie because Sony's going to take over.
Sony's doing Sony things again.
Kevin Feige's going to be like, I'm too busy right now focusing on these other movies. Sony, fine, fuck it, take care of Spider-Man 4, and then Spider-Man 4 is just like a shit show.
Well, so let's rewind back a couple decades now. All right,
sure.
Kevin Feige's original Spider-Man run with Tobey
and
Sony producing them. The problem was we had a fourth movie ready to go, and Sony kept wanting to shoehorn in more shit.
Right.
That's why there was the stretch to put the Hobgoblin as an extra villain, and I think Venom wasn't supposed to have as much screen time as he did either.
I don't think Sam Raimi wanted to do Venom.
Right.
And people were like,
Sam Raimi, that's the name I meant.
They're like, why does he look so bad? And Sam Raimi was like, because I didn't even want it.
Yeah.
I didn't want him in the fucking movie.
So Sony's whole thing, and I think we've talked about this before, is they wanted, for some reason, the number of the movie to match the number of villains in the movie.
Yeah.
So you want at least 2 villains in Spider-Man 2, you want at least 3 in Spider-Man 3, right?
Right.
And so when the fourth one came out, they wanted to add more shit, and Sam Raimi disagreed with that, and then it got scrapped, essentially, after the script was done.
Right.
I have a feeling we're going to go in a very unfortunate similar direction, because it seems, and we talked about it when the last Spider-Man came out, that Sony knows that they have a cash cow again now.
Yeah.
They haven't made this kind of money off Spider-Man in a long time.
Right.
The game comes out, and that gives them a good amount of revenue. But that's not a movie. So this movie comes out, and they finally get a working relationship with Marvel, and they make a lot of money from it. And then we start hearing rumors of, we want another Andrew Garfield movie, or it would be cool to get.
Right.
It'd be cool to get Tobey Maguire back in another movie.
Right.
And those were the rumblings for a long time. Is we're going to reboot one of those franchises and give them a Splinter movie, essentially.
Right.
Now we see that they just kind of want their hands dipped back into Marvel's pot of what Spider-Man should be doing.
Right.
We saw it with Madam Web, which fucking flopped because they're like, that's a Spider-Man franchise. Let's throw a bunch of shit into this when no one asked for it.
Yeah.
This is what we've been given. And I have a very bad feeling, like you said, going forward about Spider-Man if Marvel doesn't tighten the reins here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of their big ones. Kevin Feige can't let this one slip. Come on, Kev.
Because let's not forget too, we also had the pointless post-credit cameo with Venom in the past couple movies where he got transported into the MCU because of Doctor Strange's spell. Saw Spider-Man on the TV.
Was like, I know that guy.
Didn't appear through the whole movie.
Right.
And then at the post-credit scene of that movie, went back to the Sonyverse. Yep.
Just was like, all right, peace.
Yep.
Left a little piece of Venom symbiote.
Yeah. So who's the guy that plays Venom?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy will more than likely not be Venom in the MCU.
Hopefully not. I hope not, but I
don't like him as Venom.
I could see it being that way. I don't know. I could totally see him being I wouldn't like it just because I don't think that Tom Hardy's good then.
But it's an easy cast.
Easy cast, yeah, right.
Easy cast, but they kind of screwed the pooch with bringing him back. It's going to get convoluted lore-wise if they pull him back.
It is weird that he was like in the universe and then just left for no reason. And again, like, it's stuff where like you can't blame Marvel or you can't blame any of the studios when something like COVID is the reason for all these reshoots and shit like that. So like that's one thing, but it's very interesting to watch the seedy underbelly of how the Marvel and Sony relationship is like really shitty.
Yeah.
And, like they're really grasping onto this Spider-Man thing that they got because they know that it's the only thing that's going to make them some money. And then like they try to do it on their own with Madam Web and with Morbius, and Craven's probably going to flop too, unfortunately.
So Fantastic Four was a Fox property, right?
It was.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is I learned this 2 days ago. I watched a video where they went through all of the movies up to the year 2000 that were Marvel properties when they were just selling their properties out initially.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four movie from the not 60s. I don't know when it was. The old Fantastic Four, maybe 80s.
Yeah, it was
like that.
It was like 90s. The one that never. Are you talking about the one that?
Yes, the one that never actually made it to air.
Right.
Yeah, it's super low budgets.
Yes.
Very goofy looking.
Sorry.
That only came about, and like you said, never went to air, but they only put that production together so they could retain the rights to the Fantastic Four.
Super, grimy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
They didn't tell any of the actors that it was never meant to air or anything like that.
Making the whole movie solely to keep the rights, knowing that you're never going to release that movie. Like predetermined lost media.
Right.
Super weird. Super duper.
I know we get
I
on
hate
Disney
that.
for this a lot. I know we do. But Marvel was not in a very good financial place historically.
No,
sold a lot of their properties.
80s, 90s?
Yeah. Marvel was failing. Sold a lot of their properties. That's why Sony and Fox and all these other companies got the rights to these heroes. Hell, they sold the rights to... I don't remember the hero's name, but they sold the rights to DC at one point. Oh, I wish I could remember. It's not Captain Marvel. Might be Captain Marvel. It might be the name. It might be the name Captain Marvel because it's Shazam Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be right.
They sold the rights to the name the name Captain Marvel to DC. However, they sold off all these rights, and that's why I'm really glad to see that the Fox merger happened.
Yeah.
Because at least we're getting this retcon, and we're getting technically. I know we've talked about this before. Technically, everything is canon. All the Marvel movies are technically canon.
Right.
Because they just exist in different universes.
Right.
But they all canonically did happen somewhere at some time.
Right.
Which is a weird thing to think about. I think it's a really good way of going about it. But that's why we have, the Fox universe.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Sony's a giant fucking brand.
No, that's the thing.
I wish that Marvel could get their rights back.
I wish that there could be a Disney-Sony buyout, but that Sony is... At this point, they're a competitor with Disney, or at least they are one of the potential smaller.
Yeah.
In terms of Disney's mega corporation, they are a potential competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tough because you're not going to be able to buy out that company.
Yeah.
You're not going to get those rights.
Is Disney in charge of the Miles Morales Spider-Man?
Mm-mm, that's all Sony.
That's Sony?
But from what I have read, because of this whole Spider-Man 4 thing, a lot of the head Sony execs, will still try to get in the writers' rooms of the Sony animation team, but the animation team doesn't let them in the writers' rooms. They have to push them out of the writers' room essentially and be like, "No, we're writing this fucking movie, not you guys. We want to make a good
right."
So at least we know that the Miles Morales animated movies are probably going to be safe and good, which is good. But then at the same time, you look at it as well, then that's Sony making more money and only adding to the fuel of them keeping the Spider-Man brand.
Yeah,
which
of
is
not needing to work with Marvel.
Right, right. So it's tough. It's a tough...
The battle between Sony and Marvel Studios / Disney is a very ugly one.
Yeah,
and
it sucks.
Again, we talked about it when the last Spider-Man movie came out. It's crazy that it happened because of the animosity between them. And I'm thankful it did because it's very good and it's very good fan service. They both made a lot of money off it.
Right.
But again, like you said at the beginning, now Sony's in the mindset of, more Spider-Man means more money.
Right.
So let's throw all of our properties into the MCU and you guys just pump out the movie.
Right. You guys make us the money. Use our product. Make us money.
Use more of our product to make us more money. Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's where we're at
out
now.
Of the water and make us a lot of money.
Right. It's tough.
Which again puts this sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
it
fine.
puts the Fantastic Four movie in jeopardy now too.
It does. It puts the whole MCU.
Yeah. Because again, we talk about a crucial part of the Fantastic Four is the Spider-Man tie-in with the Fantastic Four.
Right.
Not gonna be able to do that if Sony doesn't, or if Sony doesn't play ball with them.
Right.
Sony could just say, no, we don't want Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. We want them in the Avengers. Don't put him in that movie.
Well, and it's tough because then you just have to play ball with Sony of like, okay, well, that's how this universe goes now. That's how this quote unquote canonically goes now is that he's in the Avengers and not in this because Sony writing team said so.
Yeah,
I mean, he technically is in the Avengers.
The
Avengers
right.
barely exist.
I'm saying just movie wise. I'm saying Sony would say, okay, we want him in Avengers movies. We don't care about this Fantastic Four movie.
The Sony writing team can pick and choose if he can be in this movie but not this, and he can show up in this but not this.
Yeah,
and so that's where it gets like tricky in terms of writing a fluid story or a fluid like cohesive universe with movies like the Fantastic Four happening at the same time as movies like Spider-Man 4 happening. You know?
Imagine not owning your biggest property.
Right.
Crazy thing. Asking permission to use your biggest property.
Well, it's also weird to think that in the 80s and 90s they were going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Like Marvel was almost not a company that wouldn't have existed now if they hadn't sold some of their property. Potentially, like luckily things picked up and we're in the state we are now with Marvel, but like it could have been really bad.
Potentially, we could not exist if we don't close out the show. 216-859-8699 is the number to text in. Let us know what you think about the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man 4, Madam Web, I guess, or any of the Sony, MCU, Disney relations. Give us your fantasy booking of the next couple movies and X-Men and Deadpool and all of it. 216-859-8699 is the number to text in. It works for all of our shows. Of course, we're live every Monday right here at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's stylesrebelradio.com is the homepage to get you all of our show times. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. on all major streaming platforms as the Rebel Podcast. 216-859-8699 again is that number to text in. It works for all of our shows like Shaney's Off Air. We got Beyond Bounds. We got The Pigeonhole. We got a whole bunch of other stuff at stylesrebelradio.com. Hey, don't forget, download the Live 365 app. Take us with you wherever you go because we're saving the underground music scene. Again, to my right is Shaney.
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Until next time, peace.